Here to weigh in on the great divide between Trump Republicans and the Never Trump crowd is Ben Howe, contributing editor with RedState.com. Chris Metzler, Republican strategist, surrogate for the RNC. We'll let you figure out who's on which side coming up here in a second. Chris, first to you. Going back to that issue, Reince Priebus was out at that very big event gathering in Utah. He wants to talk about party unity. And a lot of folks say, well, the reason that there's such a divide in the RNC is because how badly this primary process was managed. Is that a fair criticism, you think?
No, not at all. I think the chairman has done an excellent job relative to managing this entire primary process. And let's not forget, neither party, Democrat or Republican Party, can control, so to speak, the nominee. The nominee is the nominee. The RNC provides appropriate support. I think the chairman has done a tremendous job.
They may not be able to control the nominee, but they can certainly speak about the nominee and how they're handling themselves and how they're conducting things.
Sure. And the chairman has spoken about that. I mean, in the party, we have very differing views as to Donald Trump and the way that he's going about managing this campaign. I mean, we are the big tent party, and so there are going to be differing points of view. My concern here is I'm hearing all this talk about, well, get rid of Trump, get rid of Trump. So do we then say, for all of the voters who voted in the primary election, we don't care what your vote is, we're going to select who we want? That's a selection, not an election. And then, so what do we want to do? Get rid of Trump and put someone else in there because we think that this is a better person? That's not right.
Funny you should say that. I'm guessing that Ben Howe might like to actually put somebody else in there rather than Donald Trump. Is that possible, or are we just overriding the $13 million votes, I should say, or would you just be overriding the 13 million votes that Donald Trump has got?
Well, you know, I would prefer that a third party or an independent candidate step up precisely to avoid that argument. But I do think that he's destructive enough, not only to the GOP, but also to just conservatism in general, that whatever short-term fallout there is from replacing him would be offset by stopping this runaway train that will destroy the GOP.
You call this a runaway train, and the sort of de facto highest-ranking member of the GOP, Paul Ryan, has endorsed what you call a runaway train. His argument, he was pressed very hard on this this weekend, was, well, it's what I need to do to be able to try and keep the House and the Senate in Republican hands, and if that means trying to deal with Donald Trump and mitigate him in any way I can, so be it. Is that a fair argument here?
No. In fact, I think it defies reality. The very first person that Donald Trump endorsed, Renee Elmers, lost her primary. And, you know, no way you look at that is that a good thing. Number one, let's say she was a great candidate and his endorsement sunk her. Okay, that's bad. Let's say she was a horrible candidate and he endorsed her anyway. That's also bad. In no way does he help the House by supporting this guy. In fact, he makes things worse. Look at the ads that are already coming out that are taking the words of Donald Trump and the criticisms of him before he became the nominee, and then countering that with the fact that they're still going to endorse him. They're still going to support him. Marco Rubio said he doesn't trust him with nuclear weapons, and he's still going to endorse him. What kind of party are we running if our underlying conservative values matter less than the party itself? This is supposed to be a club of people who have similar beliefs. We're not supposed to put those beliefs aside in favor of the club.
Ben, I got to give Chris the last word here. Any chance that Ben's right on this, that the RNC has gravely miscalculated how Donald Trump is going to play, and that it would be a lot better to simply try to ostracize him rather than embrace him in some of his rhetoric that's so controversial?
Absolutely not. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we are beholden to the voters. The voters have spoken. And to suggest, Ben, that this would be a quote-unquote short-term fallout, I think, 40%. Quite frankly, I think, quite frankly, what it is short-sighted on your part. Because the fact is,
of all Republicans who voted in the primaries voted for Trump. More people voted against Trump.
Okay, but yeah, of course they did. Look how many candidates he was running against.
It doesn't change.
As a result of that, I think that from the standpoint of short term, I think really the issue is going to be long term and ultimately destructive to the party.
Well,
that's my view.
Fellas, appreciate you being here. Got to leave it there, but clearly the amount of intensity on both of your sides just shows how divided this party is now. Just about 5 or 6 weeks until the convention in Cleveland. See if you guys can come together and find some common ground. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the best.